Good afternoon. I'm Ray Starling, and it's Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock. Fortunately, Jay Fidel is not with us, so I'm running the show here with my co-host, Derek Sonoda. I am Ray Starling with Hawaii Energy. I'm the program manager, and Derek is the transformation manager at Hawaii Energy. And we're going to be talking today with a fabulous guest who's becoming very famous around the islands. Her name is Helen Wai, and she is one of the contractors that we have at Hawaii Energy who helps us to get out and beat the bushes and talk to people about energy efficiency. And we'll have a little bit more from Helen in just a few minutes, but I want to go first of all to Derek Sonoda, and he's going to talk to us about our Negawatt moment for the day.
Well, thank you, Ray. What we do at the Negawatt moment is share some things with you. And one of the things I would like to share with you too is some training opportunities from Hawaii Energy. So these training opportunities are heavily subsidized by Hawaii Energy, but they accomplish a few things for you. Some people have let us know that between facility people, the people who actually put equipment in and maintain the equipment in big buildings like the one we're in today, and the finance people and the administration, there is what they call a valley of communications death. So one person is speaking KWH and the other person is speaking present value, and they're not understanding each other. So we have a series of classes that help bridge that gap. And Hawaii Energy, if you come to hawaiienergy.com and you go to the workshop section, we have about 8 different workshop opportunities for you. And I want to read just a few of these titles because these classes are terrific, especially for the people who are selling energy efficient projects and for the people who on the receiving side who have to understand what these projects are really saying. So we have some called Learning to See or Learning to Sell Energy Efficiency Equipment. Another one is Financial Analysis of Energy Efficient Projects. These are for the receiving guys at 3 different levels. We have the beginning session, the intermediate, and for the CFOs who really need to take this to a big high level of finance, the advanced sessions. So all of these are available to you. On the business owner side of it, if you are trying to control your facilities costs, we have some that are just created for Hawaii business owners, and this is called Taking Control of Your Energy Use. This is something that a lot of people throw up their hands and say there's nothing I can do, but this speaks to our business owners here on the island. So take a look at this, come to this. You go to the website, you can go to Hawaii Energy, it'll take you there. Or another one, if you want to register and see some more about these classes, you're going to go to www.eefg.com/Hawaii Energy. You're going to see all of these courses. Now, these courses are coming out really soon for in-person, but if you're on a neighbor island or somewhere else and you want to participate in this or your time is just really full, we're going to be having these sessions online as well. And you can take those on demand. So back to you, Ray.
Thank you, Derek. I failed to mention, I think this is Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy. That's the name of the show. And we do this every week. We talk about energy matters affecting the state. And as I mentioned earlier, we've got Helen Wai with us today, and she is a very unique person in the energy world. She has a lot of information that has been very helpful to us as a program in trying to get the word out to the right people and get the right word out to the right people to help everyone take part in the energy efficiency program. I might add just before we start up with Helen that the energy efficiency program is funded by all of the ratepayers who actually pay a bill to any one of the utilities on the Big Island, Lanai, Molokai, Maui, and Oahu. And if you pay if you pay a bill, an electric bill on any of these islands, you actually pay a small fee. It's about 1.5% of your total bill goes to what's called a public benefits fee. And that public benefits fee is what funds this program, which in turn goes out and tries to educate people. As you heard Derek talking about, this program that's coming up is an educational program. And we also give the rebates for people who take measures that will save energy. We actually incentivize those by making money available back to the customers who do take part in our program and try to save. We help them with rebates. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over and start asking questions to Helen Y. And I'll just tell you that Helen works for us as a contractor, and she is part of our transformation program that Derek runs. And we actually go out, or Helen goes out and talks to any group that wants to learn more about energy. And she is particularly good at finding people that we have not reached in the past, or the program has just not been able to connect with some of the people who pay into the public benefits fee, but never take advantage of it because they just don't know about it and they don't know what we can do for them. So with that, I'd like to introduce Helen Y. and ask Helen, good afternoon. We appreciate your coming down.
Good afternoon.
And I understand you've been working today for us and you, on many days.
Yes.
I was with you last week where we were at the Sustainability Conference, and that was a great time, and you were well received there as well. So could you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you got involved in the energy business?
Sure. So I live out in Nanakuli, first of all, and I've been a consultant for close to 13 years, and I've been doing a lot around financial literacy, home ownership, foreclosure prevention, and I do a lot of work throughout the state of Hawaii, but also on a national level. And my work that I was doing on Molokai was very well accepted by the people there. And when Hawaii Energy went over to Molokai to do some work, my name somehow popped up as to this is somebody that has come here before, that has shared information that we were really able to understand what she's talked about. So that is how I ended up connecting with Derek. And when I did meet with Derek, he talked to me about, hey, we're looking at doing these workshops out in community, and we've heard a lot about what you do. Would this be something that you would be interested in doing? And I said, sure, but it's something new for me. And I needed to be able to understand, first of all, myself, then to be able to take that information and deliver it to communities in the way that they could understand. And what I found was that it was well received from people in community. But what was really important too is that in order for this to work, you really need to have great partnerships, because providing this service across 5 islands and being able to have people come out often needs to be done by leaders in the community or people who they already trust, that they will come out because of them. And then once I'm able to share the information, then they've been the biggest advocate in helping me to go across the state and share this in many, many more communities.
Very good. Well, you know, just to give you a little background, when we took over the program is now run by a third-party contractor. It used to be, back in the old demand-side management days, it was run by the utility, as have been in the past with many utilities. But as we got more into the efficiency area and conservation, some utilities started passing those duties off to third-party administrators. And so the program here in Hawaii now works directly for the PUC. And when the PUC gave the program to us, we were selected by a competitive bid. They said one of the main things we want you to do is go out there and touch the people who we haven't touched. They called them hard to reach. And we weren't sure what a hard to reach person was. And actually we thought we knew until we met you, and you found people that we had never dreamed about that really needed the services. So you've helped us grow a lot, and we really appreciate the work that you did. But I'm really interested in your telling us a little bit about, you said you had to learn about it yourself. Tell us a little bit about how you began to learn and what it was that you learned that you were not aware of before, because you were a financial expert. That's what you
Yes.
were talking about,
Yes.
finances.
Yes.
And so when the program came about and you joined the program, then you sort of morphed this financial workshop into a financial and energy savings workshop. So tell us about it.
Yes, so first of all, I took a few classes that helped me to understand what a building envelope is and all these other things. I also took a few more classes on the mainland to give me a better understanding as to what are some of the things that people could do to, first of all, become more educated in their use of energy. And then with those information, I really sat back and thought about, if I was to do this in a community where, you know, it needs to be very simple, how would I want to hear it? How would I need to be able to say it in a way that they could digest it, understand it, and not feel as if it's just two big words that they can't understand? So by learning more about energy, learning the way it's used, things that go on in their home, and by having the ability and the freedom to create in a way that I felt would be effective, is what really made this successful. Was because I delivered in a very local way, very simple, highly engaging, lots of light bulb moments, in a way where I have actually seen people have that aha moment, like, whoa, that makes so much sense now. I've never understood what a kWh was. I never understood why my electric bill was so high. I never understood why or what it is that I could do. And I feel that what's made my outreach so successful is that the people who have sat in it has valued it and have now become the advocates and marketers
Great.
to help me find other people. I'm on my third year doing work for Hawaii Energy. The last 2 years I've done about over almost close to a little under 200 workshops and touched 5,000 people across
Wow.
5 islands with barely any marketing and advertising dollars, but it was a lot of what I would refer to as coconut wireless.
Yeah.
You know, it's when people can get it, they can share it. And then when they can share it, then that's when others say, hey, can you come and talk to my group? Because this person said she sat in your session and they learned so much, and they went home and they did these things, and they saw the impact of what they learned that helped to reduce their electric bill. Would you be able to come? And that's what's truly effective, is when you're reaching out to communities and communities find the information to be valuable, but yet easy to digest and implement, that is when we're able to really make a big change.
Right. Well, I've seen you in action, and I know exactly what you're saying. You relate to people at a level that they really can absorb the information, and that's exactly what we needed. We just wish we could clone you, because it's hard for you to be on all the 5 islands at one time.
Yes, in fact, on Monday, I was in Maui. I did a workshop in Maui, and then I jumped on the plane and went over to Hilo and did a workshop in Hilo in the evening.
Wow.
So yes, there is a high demand for this, and the thing that I find that people appreciate, because the communities that I'm going into, the organizations, the businesses that have allowed me this opportunity, are people who might not have the ability to use the other incentives or rebates. And by them sitting in a session like this and walking away with this information, really feels that what they're contributing into this public benefit fund, that they are also benefiting from.
Right. Right.
Yes.
You know, one of the fabulous things about watching the people in the sessions that Helen teaches is that moment where all of a sudden they understand everything that they've been hearing about in the medias because of how Helen explains it. And that's something that I don't get to see too often. So when Helen speaks, the kind of feedback...
Watch the audience.
Yeah, watch the audience. But the kind of feedback that I hear from the audience right after her sessions is not like it was a great performance, it was good information. It was like, she is brilliant, she's a local genius, this is the best thing Hawaii Energy ever did, is hire Helen. We don't hear that kind of comments from anybody else except for Helen.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's amazing how, you know, professional speakers and everybody so fluid in the energy world will speak and do a presentation, but I never saw the kind of response that this lady gets when she speaks to people. And
Sure.
it doesn't matter who the audience is.
Well, we were very fortunate to find her, and can you tell us a little bit more about how you've linked the financial part to the energy part?
Sure. So first of all, I think what's really important is that there is a cost for what we use.
Tell you what, I'm told that we have a
Sure.
station break,
Okay.
and so let's cover that as soon as we come back. This is Think Tech Hawaii, Hawaii, the state of clean energy, and I'm Ray Starling. I'm happy to be with you, and we're going to go away for a quick break. Thank you.
Castle and Cook Hawaii, investing in Hawaii, creating communities, and providing for the needs of our state. Collateral Analytics, empowering the real estate industry to make better informed property investment decisions. The Foreign Trade Zone, bringing the benefits of the Foreign Trade Zone programs to Hawaii businesses and entrepreneurs. Galen Ho, a senior executive of BAE Systems, a global defense, security, and aerospace company. Hawaiian Electric Company, and its affiliates Maui Electric and Hawaii Electric Light Company on Hawaii Island. The Hawaii Energy Policy Forum, incorporating diverse perspectives to design a flexible and forward-looking energy strategy. Hawaii Energy, the state's energy and efficiency program created to help Hawaii's residents and businesses adopt a clean energy lifestyle. Hawaii Gas, helping Hawaii achieve its transition to clean energy and a better energy future. Hawaii Pacific Health, bringing technology and teamwork together to transform healthcare in Hawaii. The High Tech Development Corporation, attached to DBED, is the state's leading technology agency. The Scheidler Family Foundation, supporting educational, cultural, and charitable organizations, including ThinkTech.
And we're back. This is Ray Starling, and this is Hawaii, the state of clean energy, the ThinkTech program, every Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock. And I'm here with my co-host, Derek Sonata, and we're in the middle of talking to our guest, Helen Y., who is one of our fabulous rave speakers on the circuit for Hawaii Energy in terms of getting the energy efficiency message out. And you were about to tell us how you connected your financial background and what you had been teaching in the finance world with energy and make that all come together for these hard-to-reach people.
Yes. So what was important, first of all, for me is to really take a look at the cost of what we're using within our homes. Because when it comes to change, often it's very difficult for people to change if there's not enough of an incentive to that behavior change. So when I was able to learn more about what really goes on within a home, what are things that we could do differently, and put a dollar price to it, and then look at what our demographic is, our typical household size, how often do they shower, the typical age of a refrigerator, what would that cost per island. Then with those hard facts, it was something where people could really see that, whoa, now I understand why my bill is what it is. Is because of the amount of energy that I'm using in my home. And then also to say, yes, and you also do have a choice here. You can choose if it's a 10-minute shower or a 20-minute shower. You can choose if you want to keep that second refrigerator and that old freezer out there just to keep your drinks cold and store a few food out there. So it was all about how do you incorporate the choice you have and the price that it costs you. And that if it is something that you feel that you just can't afford anymore, then there are choices that you could do to change your behavior to help reduce that cost. So it was something where I feel for a lot of people, it was double value. Because I wasn't just talking about energy, I was talking about your money also. So that's the reason why when they walk away just so, wow, this is just so good. Because it's not just about one thing, it's really a combination of things and how it affects our families.
Right.
But when Helen shares this information, Helen does it in a very unique way. And because of Helen's background and how she was able to overcome some of the things in her life, she shares with people her stories. And when we communicate with stories, and people can share in the pain of what she has experienced, these things come to a magical life. And Helen, would you share some of those?
Sure, yeah. So often I share with people, first of all, for myself, money was never really anything I learned at home. You know, you would hear your parents talk about it. I went to school, I learned a little bit how to write a check and balance a checkbook, but I never really understood how to manage your money. So for me, it was just a personal struggle. And once I could really understand how to do that and master that, I realized that, whoa, I can really learn other things similar to energy. And if I can master that, then I can also teach people how to do those things. So in my sessions, I share a lot about stuff like my parents and how they use energy and the cost that they pay, and that they do have a choice. And it took them almost 2.5 years to make some choices, but by making those choices, they saw a huge reduction in their electric bill. And I talk about how, you know, when I do certain things, this is what the price that I pay for doing those things. So it's no longer about I'm not aware of what I'm doing. I am aware, but I do have a choice, and there's a price for those things that I do. And how do we go about making more conscious decisions? I think, first of all, what's important is we first have to bring awareness, because so many families are not aware of what they're using within their home. And then with that awareness, we need to bring that educational piece in a way that's easy for them to understand it, easy in a way that they can implement it right away, and then allow those things to occur and then see the impact when they get their next bill. And then that's what motivates them. One of the cool things that we do is at the workshops that I hold, I show them how to use this one really cool tool called a meter. And with this tool here, I share the story like what Derek said, is when I first started, I used this tool on my father's old ice machine. And when I measured my father's ice machine, it would cost him over $3,000 a year just for the ice machine.
Wow.
And when I showed him, he said, "No, you rigged it." I'm like, "No, I didn't rig it." But it was just hard to believe that something like that would cost that much.
Yeah.
And it took my parents time for the bill to keep creeping up for them to say, "Hey, can you come back and
Wow.
measure these things around our house?" And I did. I went back, measured the ice machine, measured all this stuff. And the thing that we were surprised about, which we knew about the ice machine already, it was the portable air conditioner that my brother was using. One of those ones that you can push around and
Oh,
stick
wow.
the hose out.
Oh, wow.
So when you turn that on, it used more than the ice machine.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So my parents unplugged the ice machine and that air condition, and when they got their bill the next month, it went down by $350.
Wow.
So again, I think part of it is not just educating them, but providing tools.
Yeah.
So when I partner with groups in the community, we leave one of these tools with them, and we encourage all the participants to borrow the tool so that they can go home and measure their appliances around their home. Because until you can see your personal costs, then you really understand that you do have the ability to make decisions as to whether or not to keep that second freezer or that other refrigerator and all those kind of things. So we do our sessions with a lot of storytelling, very simple information that they can go home. The other thing I tell them too is about short showers.
Yeah.
You know, people don't realize that how taking a shorter shower can be very beneficial, especially for those who have an electric water heater. But one of the things I tell them is after or during the session is as soon as you go home, don't tell anybody what you learned yet. I would like for you to observe and time how long they're standing in the shower first, so that you can get some hard evidence as to
Right.
the
Wow.
fact of how long they're taking a shower, so that when you do share the information, they can understand the cost of that behavior.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's engaging, it's simple. People walk away feeling that they are empowered and that there are things that they can do immediately.
Now, tell me about these devices. Where can you get those?
So this one particular meter is made by Belkin, so you could go online to belkin.com, or you could also go to Amazon. There are also other devices similar to this that you could look at Home Depot or Lowe's. It's called a kilowatt meter. one of the cool things with this is that it measures the amount of watt an item uses, along with converting it to the cost per kilowatt hour that you're paying in your particular island. So for me, what's important is that anytime I go to a different island, I need to make sure they're aware of what they're paying for that island, because Molokai does not pay the same as someone in Honolulu. The thing that shocks them the most is the amount that we are paying per KWH. Most people, when I ask, do you know what a KWH is? They're like, no. I see it on my bill, but I don't understand what that is. So I teach in these sessions of sharing the law, I teach about what the heck a kilowatt hour is. I teach them how it's measured. I use very simple analogies, such as when we buy gas in our car, they charge us by the gallon. When we use electricity, they charge us by the KWH. So all these things to make it very easy for them to understand. And then I also make sure that whoever is in charge of the tool, that they know how to use it. I demonstrate how to use it to make sure that it's set correctly, because it does have a default rate. So I want to make sure that when
The default is probably lower than...
It's less than 12 cents. So it's highly encouraged that they please check what it's set at before they use the tool, because it will not give you an accurate reading. We also go over those energy guide, the yellow stickers that you see on the appliances, and with that, when it's made on a national level, and I teach them to
based on a much lower rate.
Yes, some of them as low as 10.5 cents. So I teach them the importance of reading the very small fine print. Because that dollar cost is not correct to what you're paying on your island. So it's important, because I do a quick survey. I ask when I'm in a different island, who do you think pays the most? And often, whichever island I'm on, they think it's them. And then when I give them the order, they're like, whoa, they're not aware that you need to say Molokai and Lanai pays more than us. You need to say we don't pay as, it's yes. So it's strong and good information for the participants to be able to go back and share it with others and their family.
Good.
That's one of the things that people have a hard time not understanding, because it's out there in the media so often, but it's not getting absorbed. And that's where Helen's magic kicks in.
Yes, and I think too what's important is that it's delivered in the way that's not scolding anybody. It's delivered in a way where, I sincerely would like for you to understand this, because with understanding and awareness, it's going to benefit you. And here's the financial benefits. And this is where, especially my families, I've gone to some communities that people don't even know the name of it. I've gone to places where I know that if I were to do a workshop in the town, they wouldn't drive out. So what's very critical and important for me is that I want to be able to reach the community that are hard to reach, not just because of their economic status. It could be because of distance. It could be because of time and location. So I provide a very flexible schedule for my partners that I work with to make this possible. I did one class in Hilo where I was there on a Sunday. So church service was on one side and I was on the other side of the building. So when church was done, they came over and they sat in a session. So where do you have people teaching on a Sunday after church? But it was me, because I realized that in order for this to be successful, I need to be able to meet people where they're at and not have barriers as to, sorry, I can only do it Monday through Friday during these hours, and you need to drive out to this location. But what was more important is that I go to the people wherever they're at whatever time they feel is the best time for their community or their members to come out, so that we can make this a successful program.
Thank you. We're gonna have to take another break here. I don't know that we have sponsors that have commercials, but we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. This is Hawaii, the state of clean energy. I'm Ray Starling, and we'll be back with you shortly.
Aloha, I'm Jay Fidel. This is Think Tech Hawaii, broadcasting live From the Pioneer Plaza in downtown Honolulu, we raise public awareness about tech, energy, and globalism in Hawaii. Technology is critical to our state. A vibrant tech sector will give us new prospects in the global marketplace and will offer great careers and make our economy more resilient. Streaming live on Ustream and Spreaker, ThinkTech allows its hosts and guests invaluable opportunities to report important events and discuss important questions, and to be heard here in Hawaii and around the world. You can find links to our live streams on thinktechhawaii.com or on our mobile website, m.thinktechhawaii.com. And you can see our archive on YouTube. It's all just a click away. We want to do whatever we can to keep Hawaii relevant, connected, and thriving in the complexity of the 21st century. We hope you will help us in those efforts. Tune in today. This is ThinkTech. I'm Jay Fidel. Mahalo.
Well, we're back. I'm Ray Starling, and this is Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy. I'm here with Derek Sonata from Hawaii Energy, and our guest today is Helen Wai, who is one of our speakers that goes on the circuit talking to people, particularly hard-to-reach people out on the neighbor islands about Hawaii Energy and the energy-saving things that they can try in their homes and businesses. And during the break, we were just mentioning the fact that you've talked to lots of different groups, and most recently you've started talking to some groups that we didn't realize were hard to reach or even there, basically. And why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So recently we've been going into businesses, hotels, hospitals, and having the opportunity to speak to their employees during lunch break, or if it's a company monthly meeting. And we found that to be very effective because many of our working families work multiple jobs, or after work they're busy shuffling their kids doing sports and all sorts of stuff. So by being able to go into an employer during company time and partnering with them and allowing us to have the opportunity to share this information has been very beneficial, not just for the employees, but also for the businesses. Because now we're talking about things that these employees can do to help the business. So when there's an initiative in their company to help reduce their energy consumption, these employees now understand what management or their department has been trying to talk about. The other thing too we found to be very beneficial was we went to one of the hotels on the Big Island, and they had a project that was really just taking some time to get through. After the opportunity of us going in and sharing this workshop, then everybody could really understand the value and the importance of doing this, and that project ended up going through. So we're hoping to be able to look for other businesses or employers who we could partner with that would allow us to come during work hours to share our presentation with them.
Sure. And the place to call would be Derek Sonata at Hawaii Energy. And he can get you set up with Helen to make the rounds and get out there with your people as well.
So that's all the things that we're learning, and Helen's bringing this forth, and some of the other opportunities that are coming up that we want to announce. If you have a group, if you can share.
Yeah, so if you do have a group, please contact either Derek or myself directly.
Okay.
And we're looking for groups as large and at least really big groups of over 50 and more. I've worked with smaller groups, but we really want to be able to find large groups that we can speak to. That's people who are paying electric bills, who are looking for too. Like what I said earlier, I've done church groups, parent groups, employers. I've also done a lot of retirees. I've done union groups. So we're always looking for groups that we can speak with. I've done smaller sessions also, but we are looking for people, and I'm looking for partners, because the success of this is truly through the partnership. It's the people, the leadership in the community, the reverend at the church, the business owner who understands the importance of not just the information, but the difference that they can make in a family's life if they are more aware of what they're using. because of the cost that comes with what we're using on a monthly basis if we're not aware of that. So yes, contact Derek directly and he can provide you my information and we can look at setting up a workshop.
Right.
Helen, if you had a wish list of what area around the state that you would love to get into, yeah, because you've been having a hard time, just for some reason, you haven't been able to penetrate that. Do you have a wish list?
Yes, and the first community I would love to be able to get into would be Laie. Laie. I have been trying to get into Laie from day one. And like I said earlier, I am my third year and I'm still trying. I'm working with a partner out there who's still trying to rally up people, and she's been working really, really hard to gather people. But yes, that would be the one community I would like to go into. And the importance of Laie is because I believe, Derek, when a study was done, right, wasn't it where Laie was the area that used the most?
Per household.
Per household.
They had a high use, and we kind of guess that it's because there's a lot of students living in a home and they're renting space. So we want to go out into that community and start sharing.
Well, now, but the energy, I guess the engineer for the university was at the
Yes, he
sustainability
was.
conference, as
one of
well
the
as
gentlemen.
I believe the chancellor was there as well.
Yes.
And I hope you had a chance to mingle with them, because they've done a lot on the business side of things with saving energy at the university. So.
Yeah, they've been really good. As soon as we can penetrate this market, they've been trying to help us, and they offer classroom spaces, whole places to hold the meeting.
Wow, okay.
So as soon as that's all set up, but one of the things that Helen shared about is getting into a community and getting over the trust, because what Helen's really asking when she goes out is, please partner, bring all your friends, your family over to a meeting.
Sure.
And that takes a while to go into each community to build that relationship so you can bring over the kind of numbers. You know, a few people, 2 or 3 are fine, but when you want to do 20, 30, 40, 50, you're asking for a lot of trust to come in that, you know.
Sure.
You're not going to try and sell them something.
Correct.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and I think that's the biggest challenge.
Okay.
Is that when you do, and again, I'm from Nanakuli, so people in Nanakuli and Waianae trust me, but when I go into a new community that they don't know who I am, I somehow am put in this category of she's trying to sell us something.
Okay.
So that's the biggest barrier, is because I'm in that category, but at the same time, it's if I can get one of that leaders or someone there to sit in the session and see the information that's shared, then I have a ripple effect. But I don't have a ripple effect if I can't even get my big toe in the community. and Laie has been one that I've been trying extremely hard. And what's important for me is making sure that it is given to those who, again, would not be coming out to a normal session.
Well, you know, we're going to be putting some goals together for Derek for next year, which is, for us, is coming up. And we may have to put a goal or two on there about getting out to Laie and reaching the people out there.
Oh,
so
get-
we'll put that burden on him.
Yeah, we'll get out there. We'll all get there.
But the other thing I want to share too is that truly the success of what I have done has been because of the participants who have sat in, and the information that they got that was just so empowering. They are the ones who are sharing this aloha with everybody else.
Right.
And they are the ones who are truly making that big impact and helping me to find more families, more communities to provide this information to. And that's what is truly successful with it, is that when you find those leaders, those community movers and shakers who have the ability to see that I'm not trying to sell something, you know, I'm really trying to help people understand what they're doing, that this is what makes it successful.
Okay. Whoops. I've lost my earpiece here. Okay. Derek, can you tell us a little bit more about what's going on in the transformational area?
Yeah, well, we offer training sessions as well as Helen's, and then I just mentioned all the wonderful courses from EEFG. We also have another one called Building Operator Certification. This particular one addresses large campuses, businesses like this that have huge air conditioning systems, lighting systems, and works directly with the staff of the people who take care of the equipment. This isn't the chief engineer with an engineering degree. These are the guys who have to turn the wrenches, read the dials, change the filters, and do all of those things. We address them because a lot of times there is no training for them. They go in and do a lot of on-the-job training. So this is Building Operator Certification. It's a 8-session or 8-Saturday course. Hawaii Energy subsidizes $1,400 for this, and the people attending just pay $200. But what they get out of it is they get information. They also get the ability to meet their peers who are in the same line of business, who don't have training as well, and they share the experience. And we did this on Maui, and we did this here in Honolulu. We've got rave reviews from the people who actually attended. On the Maui one, we have 15 large resorts all pledging to send people to the next session of training if we make it available again. And same for Oahu. A lot of the hospitals have pledged to send their teams. So I want to put this out there. If you have staff or you know people that really are doing mechanical work in a facility, not just changing light bulbs, but actually taking care of the air conditioning system, and they would benefit from this certification, maybe they're going to get a better position at the company, send them over to the Hawaii Energy website or email at hawaiienergy.com, the email address there, and we'll put you in touch on how to sign up for that course. That course starts really soon, so sign up right away and we'll get you in.
Hold the next thought, because we've got to take another break, and we will be right back. This is Hawaii, the state of clean energy, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you.
I'm Hong Jiang, host for Asia in Review on Tuesdays.
And I'm David Day, host for Asian Review on Thursdays. Both of us broadcast our respective shows at 4 p.m.
And my topics tend to deal with questions related to environment, culture, history, and sometimes human rights.
And my shows tend to be on international business, foreign policy, geopolitics, and national security. And you can watch our shows live on the ThinkTech website at thinktechhawaii.com.
And you can also watch us on YouTube or Olalo.
So come join us on Thursdays at 4 p.m. I'm David Day.
And on Tuesdays at 4 p.m., I'm Hong Jiang.
Aloha.
Aloha.
And we're back. I'm Ray Starling, and this is Hawaii, the state of clean energy. We've been talking with Helen Wai this afternoon, and she has brought some props with her. She's talked about one, and she's got another one there that she's going to tell us about.
Sure. So one of the things, first of all, I would like to mention is these workshops that are provided are at no cost. So again, it's at no cost to participate.
And actually, they've already paid for it.
They've paid for it.
If they paid their power bill,
yes,
they have paid for it already.
Yes, yes. But what's important to know is, because sometimes groups will want something like this, but they're not sure, do I have to pay you, Helen, to come over to do this? So it's at no cost for the group that we're partnering with for me to come over and do a workshop. But I do acknowledge and thank everybody in my session. I first of all ask all of those who pay an electric bill to raise their hand, and I tell them thank you very much for allowing me this opportunity and to come and share this information with them. So they are well aware that they are the ones who are funding this.
Good.
But along with the information, we do also provide an energy saving device. And the energy saving device that we're currently providing is called a Belkin Conserve Power Switch. It comes in the box, and normally when I start my sessions, I share with them that we provide an energy saving device. It's in the box, they can't see it. So I tell them they'll need to wait till the end for me to tell them what it is. And when I do explain to them what the device is in the box, the most important thing I share with them is that it will not help them at all if they don't take it out of the box and plug it in. So most people will usually giggle because they're like, what? I say, yes, you need to use it. You need to plug it in into your wall and use it. This one particular device, I usually recommend that they use it on their countertop microwave. plug the device into the wall, plug their microwave in here, use the switch on the side to turn it on and off.
Sure.
That way they can eliminate that phantom energy, which, by the way, I call it vampire power. and the reason I use that word is because I asked everybody in my session, what does a vampire do? And they said, well, it sucks your blood. I said, well, this vampire power sucks all your money right from underneath your nose. So it helps them to remember, like, whoa, these are things.
Sure.
You mean that I'm not even warming anything up in my microwave, that it's costing me just because it's plugged in? And I said, yes. So in the workbook that we provide, there's a list of items that identify those vampire powers, or the technical word is, phantom energy. So this device works really, really well on those type of things. I usually recommend that they look at their appliances within their kitchen, something that's easy for them to reach to turn on and off. I've often been asked, well, can I put this on my TV? I said, well, can you reach and turn it off? Because if you can't, then it's not going to be of any help. So we provide one energy saving device per participant. The workshops are at no cost for the group that we partner with or the people who come. We also will usually leave behind one of these Belkin tools, the meters that they can measure. I wanted to share with you, one of my families in Molokai had borrowed this tool, and they had 2 refrigerators. They bought a new Energy Star refrigerator, and they had an older one. So the kids measured both. And the thing that surprised them the most was that their older refrigerator would cost them $900 more a year to operate than the new one.
Wow.
So because of the tool, they instantly unplugged that, because they realized that the cost savings that they would have would help them to save money to purchase the new refrigerator quickly.
Right.
So that's the reason why we leave these tools behind. We provide these energy savings devices, because it's not just about information. It's about things that they can go home to use to measure. There are things that they can go home into their home and put in to help them.
Plus, Hawaii Energy will give them a rebate for a new Energy Star refrigerator, and will come and haul away their old refrigerator at no cost to them, and actually give them a bounty. I think is it $50? It varies from island to island, but there's a bounty if you just want your old refrigerator properly disposed of.
Yes.
Call Hawaii Energy, and we will take care of that, and then give you a new rebate for the new refrigerator when you buy it.
Absolutely. So the workbook that I use, on the back page of our workbook, have the rebates that are currently going on.
Good.
So we talk about the solar rebate, the refrigerator rebate, the bounty, the ceiling fan, the bulbs, but I also let them know that there are more rebates than that. And what's important is to go to www.hawaiienergy.com to look at the additional rebates, such as the solar water heater checkup, the washing machine. So yes, it's really, really important for people, because what's good is that when they see that, hey, wait, if this is what it's costing me, and there is this rebate that I can get for purchasing a new refrigerator, then this is something that I would like to take advantage of.
That's great.
And this time of the year, one of the interesting thing is, because it's near tax season, many of the families that I see are looking at using some of their tax returns to purchase a new energy efficient refrigerator.
Awesome.
Great.
Yes.
Well,
is there a tip you want to tell everybody? Just one energy saving tip out there?
I think what's important that I found that many people are not aware of is that vampire power. It's those items in their home. Also, a lot of people plug things into a strip cord.
Oh, absolutely.
And I tell them, great, that's step 1. Step 2 is, did you turn it off? And most of them are like, what? I said, yes, it's not going to help you at all if you don't turn it off. So I talk about things that are really at no cost, or very low cost.
Those are the best ones.
Yes, because the participants walk away knowing that I can go home and do these things immediately.
Right.
And
they won't have to pull money out of their pocket they'll actually get money at the end of the month. When they
Correct.
get their power bill, they'll save.
Yes, or they'll go home and say, you know what, keeping my drinks cold in the garage in that old refrigerator is just not worth it.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's time to go home and just unplug it. And they have this bounty program where I can contact them and, you know, someone can come and pick it up. I don't have to worry about who am I going to get a truck from and all those great things. So yes,
Yeah.
yes. So that would be my tip. It would
Yeah,
be
that's-
the strip cords and please turn it off.
Great.
That's a great tip.
With that, you know, we've run out of time today, and
I do want to
we-
mention my telephone number.
I'm sorry.
If you
Go
want
ahead.
this lady to come and visit your community, talk to your group, my telephone number at Hawaii Energy is 839-8882. That's 839-8882, and we'll hook you up.
Great, great. Well, I want to thank both of you, Derek, for finding this young lady for us. You made a great find, and we really appreciate what you've done. And you, Helen, for all the work that you do, and including coming here and helping Derek and I with this show today.
Yes, thank you.
We
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate
Well,
it.
I thank you for the opportunity to go into community and provide a service to those who might not have had the ability to come out. So thank you for the opportunity.
Great, great. Well, we're going to have these two back again soon, and we'll talk a little bit more about vampire power. I've got a few stories of my own. But for now, I will have to say good afternoon. This is Ray Starling with Hawaii, the state of clean energy, and we'll be signing off. Thank you very much.
Aloha.